So the importance of the cabeceo, or the mirada, of looking at someone and accepting the dance and not having someone coming up to you, initially was to save face for the man, for the Spanish man. If he came up and the woman said no, and all of his friends saw that the woman said no, they're very embarrassed. So they don't. So that is for the man, but it's also for the woman. If the woman doesn't want to dance with that person, she just looks away. She gets busy looking in her purse,
So women do have a certain amount of control.
Absolutely.
In tango.
You have in tango, you have control over who you dance with. There's no question, but the men do and the women do. To foster community, we will often say in these times locally in Kingston, New York, or in Woodstock, we will say to the community, if you haven't danced with everybody here, if you see someone sitting, please ask them to dance. You would not hear that really in Buenos Aires, not like that, because there are some very good dancers and they have people that they like to dance with. And we all have that. There's some people that in any dance that we just get along with. We're the right size, the right height. We share the same musicality. So people like to dance with certain people. But the other thing that's very different in tango is we don't just dance one song. And we dance what we call in tandas, and they're usually in 3 or 4. A tanda is a group of tango songs, all of whom are either by the same orchestra, just like you had the Glenn Miller Orchestra, Benny Goodman, it's by orchestras. So so it's the same orchestra, the same pace, because when you pick a partner and it's a medium tango, let's say, and then all of a sudden it goes to something fast, you might not want to dance fast with that person. That might, so, it's all supposed to be, those songs within the tanda are supposed to be similar, by the same orchestra, if possible, even with the same singer, if possible, all instrumental or vocal, if possible. And then that's separate, and we usually do 3 or 4. Milongas and tangos milongas and valses are usually 3, tangos are usually 4. In a smaller community, we'll do 3 so more people can dance. So a lot of the smaller communities will do 3 tangos instead of 4. And then there's a tanda, then there's a cortina, which means curtain, and I always like to think of it as sherbet, where you cleanse your palate, but it signals the end of the dance, and people are supposed to go back to their seats and wait until the cortina is over, which lasts not even a minute, and then a new batch of tangos come on, which could be different from the one before. So people generally in tango don't ask someone, unless you know them very well, are you free for the next tanda? Because you don't know what it is. You don't know what the DJ is going to play. So you have to wait to listen to what music is going to play, and that will help you find the right partner. I happen to like D'Arienzo. Juan D'Arienzo is an orchestra leader. He's very fast. He's not fast, but he's very rhythmic. He could be slow too, but the rhythm, there's some tangos that are more lush with violins and more orchestral, but he is like, I just love dancing to him. And there are people who are like D'Arienzo or the orchestra leader Biaggi. There are people who like that kind of music to dance with the most. So if I hear a D'Arienzo coming on, I want to dance with someone who I know likes D'Arienzo and will do all the little foot things that I like to do with him and with listening to D'Arienzo. Whereas if a milonga comes on and you've already said yes to someone, they may not know how to do milonga. There's some people who wait until the end, or they might not consider they're good, or you might be really good at doing milonga and maybe that person isn't. They're great at doing tango or vals, but they're not the best at milonga. So I'd rather dance with someone else. Not because I don't like that person, I'll dance with them again, but it helps you, and in that sense it helps you become a better dancer, because if you're dancing with someone who is good at the dance that you're dancing, that's going to help you become a better dancer too. So that's very different in tango than in elsewhere.
You're bringing up a very good point, and something that I keep stressing on tango on the Hudson is that people should take lessons. Can you approach that about taking lessons, the value?
Oh, you really cannot learn tango without dance. You can make believe, you can do pretend tango, but you really can't learn tango without lessons. And when I'm saying lessons, there are a lot of people who are doing, okay class, we're doing the 8-step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good teachers generally don't teach like that all the time. There are at some points where we are learning steps later on, but what you really want to do is, and it sounds very boring at first, but you have to do this to be an elegant, good tango dancer. You have to learn posture. You have to stand up straight and not sit slumped. You have to. I once walked into a class with a great Susanna Miller, great tangera and teacher, and I walked in a little bit late, so I didn't hear the part where she said, "In Buenos Aires." Well, I did hear this part, but we walk with our chests open. We're not like this. We're not hiding ourselves. We walk like this. But I missed the part where she said, "You shouldn't be in class like hiding your chest and folding your hands." And of course I walked in and I started to do that, and she got me right away on it. So you need to learn posture. You need to know how to change weight, which is very important. I meet people that are dancing 3 to 5 years and they still don't know how to do the simplest thing because they're interested in learning steps. So if you want to learn tango, you have to have some patience. You're not going to be learning steps all of a sudden that you're kicking up your leg in here and he's lifting you up. No. You have to learn how to walk tango first, and how to then do turns, and you have to learn how to walk together to the music. And you need, in order to do that, you need posture, and you need to change your weight so you know what leg your partner is on. Because as a leader, you're not only dancing your dance, you're dancing with someone else, and they say it's one body, 4 legs. And so you have to regard that person. You can't just think about what you're doing and just like forget to take her with you. And you have to, so you need to have lessons so you learn the basic stuff. I've been going to some of the classes here just to observe during the day when I don't have that much time. And even so many of the classes that are for not only beginners but for intermediates and even advanced, many of the teachers, and these are world famous, they know what they're doing. They're starting from changing weight, they're starting from posture, they're starting from walking straight ahead, they're starting from how you put your feet on the floor and not like on the side of the feet. Your feet are flat, your toes aren't curled up. The most basic things, and you've got to learn that. That's not difficult to learn, but you've got to learn it.
Eileen, the question is, why make the sacrifice?
It's worth it. It's worth it. It's just, again, community, serotonin, the feeling of being in someone's arms. And let me say something about tango can be considered a sensual dance. It is not a sexual dance. It is not. If you're a guy or sometimes a woman who's looking to come in to find a girlfriend who they can take home for the night, don't come to tango because it's not going to work. And no one's going to dance with you unless you're making an effort to learn how to dance. They're not just going to dance with you because you're a good-looking guy. Because and they will at first, but if you don't know how to do what you're doing, they're not going to dance with you again. So.
What a great interview. Make sure you go on to part number 4 for Eileen's final thoughts. Some great dancing. Go to Tango on the Hudson to get articles and information on what's going on in the tango community in the Hudson Valley. The tango community. There's a feeling of community and inclusion in the Hudson Valley tango population. There's always room for new members to come onto the tango dance floor. So what are you waiting for? Call Danjo Dance Studio today 475-6006, and we'll see you on the dance floor.